It don't go to Facebook no more. Or does it? Invite. There you go. You are now invited. You are now cordially invited. Why did it just say invite Kate? Bryce, what up? What up, TikTok? What up?
Yo.
Oh, we are need their TikTok mics. The mics. Yeah. And I just hit your camera.
I thought I gave you one already.
No. Are you missing one now? You gave me the thing.
Oh, I'm tripping. I got it.
Don't worry, guys. Where's the echo?
Your phone?
This?
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Now, oh, we're good. It's like, where's the
Yeah.
echo? There's too many echoes. We need sound and audio and lighting and setup and display, all that stuff. What is going on, TikTok? What is going on? We are about to, if I don't drop my phone,
Try not to do that.
do another episode. All the fun stuff. What are we doing? Change the name on YouTube. TikTok, what do you guys want us to talk about? What do you guys want us to talk about? Also, should I change the YouTube to just real deal combos, make it easy? TikTok, what part of relationships, since we are literally in the thick of cuffing season, what part of relationships are you guys going through right now? Or what kind of relationships? What is going on in your relationships?
Oh, you wanna
TikTok, you guys love to give us
some
give us advice and all that
sound
stuff.
bites on there?
You guys love to give us advice on relationships and say our advice is terrible.
Did you see the questions that I asked? Oh yeah, you saw. those. Oh,
Yeah. I saw some. I didn't get to them. This is what, episode 57?
Hey man, you're the episode count guy.
I have no idea, man.
I never have any idea.
We don't do them every week anymore.
Well, no.
I mean, it's holidays. It's holidays. We get busy, man.
We skipped 2 weeks, and then you also forgot to post. So it's not that we're not doing them every week.
Well, technically, we're not doing them every week.
We have been.
Cleon had a birthday last week. Oh, I'll say that when we actually start the show. He's actually old now. Actually old. All right, YouTube's good. Episode 57. Like, share, comment. I don't know what we're talking about, but we're going to talk about something. Because that is what we do best. Right, Cleon?
Sure.
You're supposed to agree. What the heck?
Hey man,
I haven't been on Twitch in a minute. Let me see. Do we got any new followers? I wonder if our BB followed me back on there. Oh, 7 notifications. All right, hold on, we got to book a table.
Oh, I'm also getting a call.
Probably same person.
Yeah.
Tim Williams.
Tanger nightclub.
You guys are getting live feed.
Probably somewhere around like $20.
Bro, you see that there's AI be telling you what to talk about on here?
Like that, I won't know until we
Dun-dun, channel. Enrique, what up?
I won't know for sure until we open.
Okay, dokie. I have not been on Twitch in a hot minute. All right, guys, what part of relationships? What part of relationships do you guys want us to yap about today? as Cleon's making a business call on the clock. This is crazy. Tell them they can wait. Tell them they can wait, brother.
All right, let's talk about cheating.
Cheating.
Since I asked that question.
We're doing a year recap. What do you mean?
What do you mean we're doing a year? We just talked about this.
Oh, yeah, we're doing that this year. We talk a lot about cheating. We never even finished that book.
You mean the breakups?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, that was it.
It wasn't about
We
cheating
did.
specifically.
The last 8 ones we did was like cheating.
What last 8? What are you talking about? When did we talk
We
about
did the one
cheating?
of like emotionally available, which was emotionally cheating, and all the other ones. I mean, we talk
You
about it a
talking
little
about the
bit.
Reddit story?
Yeah, that was Reddit. Reddit
Yeah,
cheating.
it was a Reddit story,
bro. All right, this guy not getting a table then, bro. If I tell you it's not available, it's not available. It's not available.
Somebody asking for King.
Nah, they like pointed A6. Like it's 2 people. It was like 750 or 400. I was like, I'll give you like A7 for 400 because 2 people. Like, bro, you're not getting a book table. Is it booked? Everything was booked except for 1 and 7. Yeah, it's booked. Flights booked with a deposit. Small right corner 1 available. I don't know. They're gonna understand what that is. That's what you want to talk about?
I mean, we can talk. I mean, what do we have here, man? What do you?
Oh, we just yap about the year. Yap about the year. Chad, this is what we do best. We just start yapping. And we just be talking about something. I mean, we can always talk about TikTok too. TikTok is a wonderful place. TikTok is a wonderful place. All right, Chad. So we only know what we're going to talk about once we start the show. Brother. You said what's available. I just said small right corner 1 available. And then he said what's available. Do you want a table or no? Do you want the table, chat?
You want to talk about reasons you should marry someone?
Oh my god. I'm gonna have to whip out ChatGPT. Guys, ChatGPT really be taxing. I use it to make like a flyer for the episode, and it put a random white girl on the flyer. It's like I've never had any episode with any silhouettes of people on it from ChatGPT, and for whatever reason, as soon as I stopped paying for it, it wanted to give me like a completely different artwork. Something crazy. Reasons why
you should.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Welcome back to another episode of the Real Deal Podcast with myself, Mr. Brandon Haley, and our very special co-host. I was going to say guest. Our very special co-host of the Real Deal Podcast, Mr. Cleon Deal.
Hello. Happy to be here. Welcome back.
Welcome back. It's been a little while since we've been yapping. And since then, Cleon has turned another year older, another year wiser. So give it up for my man, Mr. Deal.
Yeah.
He is now officially Unc status.
I don't know if that's what we would.
You're 30 years old.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've been an uncle for quite some time. I don't know.
Okay. All right. I've been an uncle since I was in my early 20s too. Something like that as well.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
But like an actual legit uncle.
Yeah.
But You had a good birthday. You did some crazy fun stuff. He went to a birthday dinner with all his friends, and I didn't even get invited. We didn't do a podcast episode, and I didn't get invited, so it was kind of crazy.
I didn't set up the invites.
Yeah, so I might have a bone to pick with the person who was supposed to send the invites to Cleon's friends for his birthday. But you know,
yeah.
I,
Right down the
won't-
street too. That's the craziest part.
I won't cause a scene today.
I literally passed the place we went to dinner as I was on the way over
Hey.
here.
I was here last week.
Yeah.
But- Other than that, we haven't yet. I feel like it's been 2 weeks, because then before that I had a wedding,
Correct.
something like that. So we still uploaded an episode. So it's been like every other week. So I guess during the holiday season we'll do every other week. We kind of had that conversation. We're like, oh, we'll
No, you had that.
I mean, I'm saying like we kind of had that conversation with chat, like saying like, hey, we might do this.
This was just some circumstantial things.
Yeah, and it's holidays, and we did a full year nonstop, didn't miss a single week, uploaded every episode every Saturday. So episodes will be every Saturday or every other Saturday, but no later than every other Saturday, worst case. After the holidays, and depending on travel and stuff, I know I do got to travel up in January, but after the holidays and stuff, we'll get back to the once weekly.
Mhm.
And still try and go live. Even if we don't post the episode, we'll still try and go live every Saturday at 7. So if you want to be a guest on the show, I know we got to reach out to people. We made a list. We checked it twice. We're going
While we're on the subject of guests, please, if you are going to inquire and, we are going to accept, show up.
Please.
I don't. We've had multiple people ask us to be here, and then not be here when it was time to be here.
That does happen very often. And guys, we do it on Saturdays at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Saturdays at 7.
We kind of
just like keep it engraved in your brain. Saturdays at 7, we are live. So if you do want to be on the show, yes, Saturdays at 7, Tampa, Florida. Be there.
Yeah. It's and
yeah,
but yeah,
I'm not going to say like that it's mostly women that plan it and then don't show up and follow through, but it is. And since we're on the topic of women, I guess we do talk about women a lot. I sent Cleon this funny AI video of women. He does not want to talk about that. He does not want to talk about that. We're going to talk about that at one point in
Brandon
time.
has an unhealthy attachment to AI, guys, and we need to really get we need to really get in front of this before it gets too far.
Before I have one of those.
Before
AI
you
robots.
have one of these things in here, I'm telling you,
they're going to do the setup.
I've seen
In my laundry.
iRobot way too many times. I'm gonna
Great
be
movie.
just like Will Smith in that thing where Brandon have some robot walking around here. There's some robot girl who happens to be also his type. Funny how that works out. I'm not doing. I can't.
Funny how that works out. Yeah, they're making them where you can have your robot look just like how you want them.
Yeah.
So
I don't know, man.
That's going to be an interesting. Whenever they are released, that's going to be very interesting.
Yeah.
But without further ado, I have no idea what we're talking about. Cleon said we're going to talk about something today, so we are going to yap about it, and then maybe if we got time, we'll talk about some other things.
Yeah. So first, first thing, actually, I want to ask you a question. We
love questions. I have no idea what we're going to be talking about. Let's do it.
I've been hearing this term a lot, and I just wanted to know if this is something that applies to you, or if you feel like it's been affecting you or the people around you.
Weaponizing competence?
No, not weaponizing competence this time.
Not this time.
This one, I was informed via the internet that we are in a male loneliness epidemic. Have you heard of that?
Oh, yeah. So they actually, like, somebody responded to you on that. Someone said the same thing in one of my
they're like, oh, this is why men are in a loneliness epidemic, or they'll say, oh, they're clearly not lonely enough, or things like that.
So they're lonely and then that's causing what kind of issue?
Well, they're saying that men are complaining. There's a widespread complaint of men about being lonely.
Mhm.
And the reason why they're lonely is obviously due to no fault other than their own, basically, is what they're saying.
Usually, but the
Um,
AI robots are about to fix
okay,
all.
hold on. Let's
Let's settle down.
let's
settle.
focus. But apparently, according to the internet, there's a larger amount of men that are lonely today, apparently, than ever before, allegedly.
Mhm.
And I just wanted to know kind of what are your thoughts on this? Is this something that you've seen in your everyday life? Like, what does this, does this resonate with you?
Um, I mean, it's kind of like when we were talking to your sister a couple weeks ago when she was on an episode. By the way, that episode drops today. Um, she was saying like, when do you find the difference of like loneliness,
Mhm.
lust, or when you're in love? So I think that people feeling lonely is just part of them like having to get to know themselves. Like me in my younger years growing up, like I felt like I needed companionship, right? Like I needed to have a girlfriend or I needed to have a roster starting five. You know, I felt like I needed those things to
Mhm.
like for my own self-validation. So I felt lonely when I didn't have those things.
Right.
Now, as you mature or as I matured and as I grew within myself as an individual and I stayed alone for a very long time, I
Mhm.
realized like I don't need those things. So I'm not just going to chase the next like dopamine hit or quote unquote fall in love with the next person that makes me feel good.
Mhm.
So I think that you can classify it as yes, a loneliness epidemic, but it's really just more so a lack of people that were in my situation that just need to do the work.
Mhm.
And this isn't something I don't think that you even understand. It's like because Cleon can do everything on his own by himself, workaholic, but it's definitely something like I can relate to it
Mhm.
because I had been there before at a time in my life to where like I did feel lonely. So I you filled the void, filled the void with dating women or
Mhm.
hanging out with women, whatever it may be. So I definitely understand like where they could say like it is one, but it's really just a lack of people with emotional intelligence to be alone instead of feeling lonely. When we were
Mhm.
talking about like the lonely and lust thing.
So you think that is being characterized as something like this because people don't know how to be
Mhm,
alone, and so they automatically classify it as lonely when in reality this is a perfect time for
mhm.
them to
Were they what is
figure
it
them
was
out.
it women? Was it a woman?
Who
Basically like what talk like what was the context of it though being used? Because I'm just like kind of generalizing the whole.
that, and that's why I asked you without any
Yeah,
context
that's what I was like,
first.
because I've been there, so I understand, yeah, there's a loneliness epidemic, sure, but it's kinda like I mean, it's all mental
Mhm.
in a sense,
Right.
but me at that age, I couldn't comprehend that it was just a mental,
Mhm.
hump I needed to get over at
Mhm.
that age. Now it's like, "Alright, I kinda understand these things,"
Right.
and as you grow and your emotional maturity develops,
Mhm.
you realize, "Oh, yeah, it's not like yeah, it's not an epidemic. I'm just I enjoy being alone at this point in my
Mhm.
life."
Right, right, right. So, to give the context of
Mhm,
this, because I can't find the exact video. But basically, I was on the internet talking to people, just pretty much about how people interact, and I was kind of giving
mhm.
my, as I do, my perspective on,
Yeah.
relationships and things of that nature.
Mhm,
And I think the general consensus of what I'm talking about is basically communication in relationships. And as pretty much everything goes back to that. But
mhm,
what was happening was that probably the same similar things when I'm talking about like within your relationship, you should be able to communicate things that are wrong even if you
mhm,
feel like they're obvious.
mhm,
And in turn, because of that, it is probably something a little bit more specific in that video. But then I get the comments of this is why men are in a loneliness epidemic because they refuse to X, Y, and Z, and they
mhm,
won't do this and that. And that made me wonder. I'm like, are men in a loneliness
mhm,
epidemic right now? And I'm like, even if they
Mhm.
are, is it due to something like that? Uh,
But if they're saying, well, I mean, like, what does that exactly mean though? Like, do the men feel lonely,
well, that's what
or like
apparently.
women are abstaining from men, so now that's the epidemic because men are not smart. Like,
So according
what
to
were they trying?
apparently what a male loneliness epidemic is basically the
Mhm,
widespread general consensus that a bunch of men are feeling lonely. So they have a
mhm.
lack of meaningful relationships or lack of any relationships at all, or lack of
Yeah.
contact, I guess, with the opposite sex or whoever it is that
Mhm.
they're attracted to for whatever various reasons. So apparently men right now, like I said, I don't know where the studies are on this.
Right, right.
Somebody
It's
says
more
something,
just an
then it
opinion.
catches on. There's a bunch of sayings, by the
There
way,
are like
that just
weaponizing
catch on,
competence.
like weaponizing competence,
The
like the whole
mhm.
which one did I see? Gosh, I just saw this.
Definitely
Oh,
the loneliness epidemic.
I saw this one where this girl was making this video and she asked a very good question. She said, men, I have a question.
Mhm,
I've been, is this something that women just tell themselves, or is this something that is real where we
mhm.
say that men don't approach women because oh, he's intimidated by her? And I was like, that's an interesting question because I've
Mhm.
never been
Yeah,
intimidated about something like that. But things like that that people that you hear a lot. Oh, he's just intimidated by
yeah.
you, or other things like men cheat because they're insecure, and that's the main reason why they cheat. But women cheat because they aren't getting what they need, like a variety of things that we hear that just kind of catch on. So that I think this kind of fits in with that thing that somebody, I don't know if somebody
Mhm.
just decided men were in the lonely step, but I don't know where the census was. I wasn't involved in it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's like supposed to be. I mean, I'm sure the connotation was it's supposed to be something that's negative towards
Correct.
it. Chat, what is a loneliness epidemic in regards to the male species?
Well, I Googled it. I got you,
Mhm.
right? I know how much you love AI. The male loneliness epidemic
Mhm,
describes a growing trend where men report fewer close
mhm.
relationships, less emotional support, and increased feelings of isolation, leading to serious health risks like depression, suicide.
Yeah.
Men are nearly 4 times more likely than women, and deaths of despair, characterized by a friendship recession, where men have fewer confidants, often relying solely on partners, and struggle with vulnerability due to societal pressures to be so stoic, create a painful gap between desired
Mhm.
and actual social connection.
So what caused that? What causes that? I mean, because that makes sense. Yes,
Hmm.
I could definitely see it. Like I could relate to that. Like I've been in those
Hmm.
spaces mentally to where
Hmm.
I understand that.
Hmm.
And then you can't be vulnerable because you know you're a guy and all that kind of stuff. Like
Hmm.
growing up all throughout early to mid 20s, like I definitely felt all of that. But what did she say that's causing it?
Oh, they're saying men are causing it on themselves.
Men are,
That's
okay.
that's what they're
I
saying. I
agree.
have my own theory
Yeah. I
on
mean,
what
I
it is.
agree too, but I mean, it comes back to everything that, you know, we always talk about too, is like how you were raised and stuff. But yeah, your own personal decisions too. When we talk about like the peer pressures of your groups and stuff,
Hmm.
like going through college, um, I would just sleep with good looking girls just to be like the cool guy, you know, like
Hmm.
little things like that. So yeah, you're doing all these dumb things, but there's always like a reason you're doing them. And then yes, it does cause you there is a consequence of it down the road, which is that is the consequence of it. When you just sleep around, you just listen to your flesh and you're not really building meaningful relationships, you're just there for the hookup. Yes, that's what's going to happen to you.
But men have been doing that for ages. They weren't reporting a loneliness epidemic then.
Yeah, I think I just maybe yeah, I'm not sure. Social media, that's the only thing I can think of that's new. Like social media and the ability to compare yourself to multiple people at once. And you know, like we talk about the how men grow up, right? Is how they're cool is they if they have a lot of girls or they have a beautiful girl or they have multiple beautiful women, they have money, they have the cars, they have the house. So I guess just the ability um to have instant comparison to all of that around you
Mhm,
might also help lead to that.
mhm.
Because if you see somebody posting with multiple women, then you think you got to do it. I don't know that I would imagine social media plays a role in that because what when did social media Instagram came in what like 2009?
around
Oh,
somewhere
and I think we had
around
like
there.
Facebook and MySpace a little bit before that,
Yeah.
but you couldn't really like see everybody's life. They kind of just had, MySpace back in the day. If you guys even know what that is,
Yeah.
listening, you kind of just had your profile picture. You had your top 5 friends, 10 friends, 3 friends, whatever it may be, and like a glitter page background for people who wanted to get into coding. That was like the original AI stuff back then, and that was it. You couldn't really get a glimpse of somebody's entire life. Now you have a glimpse of that. So if you
Right.
see a kid with a Lamborghini and he has a different beautiful woman every night and he's in Miami and stuff, then yeah, that could probably be like, okay, wow, I'm not like that. And I'm I was gonna say, and I'm in Ybor with these women instead of in Miami. Probably make them feel bad. So I don't know. That would be my thoughts on it and
Interesting.
why it could be more of a epidemic now. But I mean,
I think social media does
Mhm.
play a role in it. I think that here's my thing, right? Because I don't, like I said, I don't really know. I didn't really look up whatever
Mhm.
these studies are coming from. I don't know where it's coming from. But my theory, and this
Mhm.
is so I'm just talking out of wherever right now. So
Mhm.
take it with a grain of salt. But basically, what I think it comes from, I think it's kind of like the generation a little bit behind where we are, right? That is kind of more social media based.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that I think it does play probably the largest role in it is because everything is online now.
Mhm.
So because let's say if there is in fact a male loneliness epidemic, everything is online now, right? So we've been online and women said don't approach us in public. All right, cool. So we don't approach you in public. So now every man is
Mhm.
trying to shoot their shot in every girl's DMs on however many apps that we have.
It does work.
It may be, but you're gonna have to shoot a lot of shots to get that one, right? And
We should do a master class on
we should not.
I'll do it for you guys.
And so what happens, I think, at that point is that we number one lack social skills
Mhm.
because I think that especially with this younger this generation, even some of the older stuff, people
Mhm.
are kind of the role models are changing in terms of how people are interacting with women. Like, yeah, we have the
Yeah.
people that we see in the financial services industry, but also like watching like these streamers, which is a huge thing right now,
Mhm.
right? And
Yep.
watching how they go and they interact with women. And so
Mhm.
these guys are already rich
Oh,
and they get
yeah,
to
yeah.
talk to women and these say ridiculous things. And then you
They're
get these kids on the internet who think that they can also talk to women in these irrational
but
ways.
they're
And
they're doing it for views, and then yeah,
correct.
other people, yeah, with
And
the Meta Ray Bans, they be recording. That's usually what
yeah,
they're doing.
they'll be overtly sexual when they're
Yeah,
talking to women off first
but
encounters.
usually the people that are doing that are usually like not weirdos
Yeah,
for the
they're
most of the time.
losers.
I mean,
Sure. I'm sorry.
I know
That's a
some people.
strong word.
I mean, it is entertaining. It is funny to watch some of them,
It is, but it's
but
entertaining to you to watch because that's not how you talk to
and
women.
that's not how you do it.
There's
Yeah,
somebody who's
Mhm.
watching that who's
And
like,
things. Yeah.
oh, let me go and it looks like it's working
So
clearly.
anything you see online, there's always a disclaimer. Is like
This
that's
might not
not
work.
that's not how it is usually supposed to be done. And I mean, I guess since we're on the topic of that and approaching,
Right.
there really, I don't think there really is no like real rules to it.
Well,
And you always say like be yourself, but yeah, you should be yourself.
no, you
Like
shouldn't.
the best version of yourself, the best version of yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you like yeah, you shouldn't really try if you're going to approach female, yeah, you shouldn't really try and be or express that you're somebody that you're not or things like that. Just be the best version of yourself. Don't just be you, but be the best version of yourself when you're doing that.
Now, so the other side of that, right?
Hmm.
Because also every woman has an idea of how she would like to be approached, right?
Yeah, and it's all different.
It's all there.
It's
So
all different. Just so
which
you
is
guys know.
fine. But the issue
Hmm.
is that you have a guy who goes and trying to create something out of thin air to this woman. And
Hmm.
she's like, I didn't like that attempt. And
Hmm.
it's like, okay. Now it might take a lot of those attempts to
Hmm.
go and find the girl who likes whatever it is your opening line is. I don't know how you typically lead with that. It
Yeah,
just depends on you. It
and
really just
just
depends on how attractive you are.
right. Don't keep trying with the same one. Like there's so many out there, and this is actually something that I did struggle with when I was younger. Right, I used to be the kind of person if I saw somebody and she was my type and I wanted her, I was going to do everything in my power to make sure I got her. And that was a very, very big problem, because it forces you into a lot of relationships that you have no business being in. So
Mm.
if you get politely rejected, or if no, like no answer is an answer. You know what I'm saying? So if you get a no answer, that's an answer for you. Just move on. There are so many other fish in the sea. I know you guys hear that probably very often, but there really are, and especially early on, like in my early 20s. Oh man, I made so many mistakes doing that,
Mm-hmm.
just because I'm like, there's only one of her. Trust me, there is not only one of her, brother. There are a million of her out there. And if that one turns you down, go find one that does like your corny little one-liner, or does like that you sell Pokemon cards online, or does like that you're good at making ceramics, or that you play flag football and you're 32 years old. You know, all those little weird things that people like to do.
But how mentally taxing,
Mhm.
right, must that be
It
to
can
have
be,
to
yeah.
go and approach 50 women to
I
get
mean,
maybe 2 yeses?
here's how I look at it. The way it changes as I got older. Like obviously a lot more experience in the game at 32 years old versus when I was younger. But it's like you can never. I used to take things personally. Like if
Mhm.
somebody rejected me or didn't give me the attention, right, that I was seeking or needed,
Mhm.
I felt like it was my own, like, oh man, maybe it's because I'm short, or maybe I'm not good looking enough, or I'm not in a good enough shape, or whatever it may be. So I would think like there was something wrong with me, but no, there's nothing wrong with you.
I mean, there
There's,
might be something wrong with you.
I mean, there might, yeah, yeah, there actually might, but whatever's wrong with you, somebody might like that.
Somebody like my
Somebody will actually. I mean, I've seen a
I
lot of
mean,
relationships. It is so funny, like now at this age, you just see things happen, and I just look at relationships and I'm like, man, this is there's a like it's going to expire eventually. I just look at relationships so often and how they form and how fast they move. And you know, you see all these people on like social media relationships and stuff like that, and it's just like, I wish them the best of luck, but you already know 90% of the time is going to expire because of the steps that happen in the speed, and like people moving in together really fast, or like super fast engagement, things like that be
mhm.
happening. I'm just like, whew, good luck and God bless. Good luck and God bless. I know I had a second point to that topic, but then it just went away. Like it always does. As my ADHD brain just goes away.
Yeah. So I mean, so that's kind of part of what I think is, if there is this loneliness epidemic
Hmm.
that has been introduced to me via TikTok,
Hmm.
I think it has a lot to do, like I said, with just this online, chronically online thing. Because when somebody asked me about like societal pressures for men in
Hmm.
terms of them having to provide things, and
Yeah.
I think that also kind of plays a role, because when you get online, and I kind of was specifying on,
Hmm.
I'm far removed from this because I understand women in real life versus them on the internet.
Yeah.
And
Way different.
so, yeah, very, very
It's like
different.
what do we say sometimes? Preferences versus non-negotiables.
Non-negotiables,
Yeah.
right? So on the internet, they're like, if you want to approach me here, you should, like, if you approach me at the gas station, you should
Hmm.
be willing to pay for my gas. If you approach me here, you should be willing to, if you see me at Publix and you want to talk to me,
Hmm.
you should be offering to buy me groceries.
And
Like,
women aren't really that mean.
they're
They're
not
they're just that mean on
on
social
online.
media. Yeah.
But when you haven't had that experience to go and talk to women in real life, now you're nervous about going and talking to some woman in real life because you're scared that she's going to ask you to do
Yeah.
X, Y, and Z upon running into her.
Which you shouldn't be. And that made me just think about like when we're out at work, right? When we're
Mhm.
getting people into the club
Yeah.
early and we're giving them the free entry cards, right? Sometimes you're just like, hey, free shot, free entry, whatever. We're trying to get girls into the club early because
Mhm.
that's part of our job.
Part of our job.
Get girls into the club early to
Yeah.
make it cooler. And obviously, you know, with women in the club, guys spend money. That's just how it
That's
works.
how it works.
I don't make the rules. That's just you guys made the
I
rules
just work here, man.
culturally. I just work there and I abide by those rules. But it's just funny because sometimes we'll do that, right?
Uh-huh.
And then the girls will just look at us
Uh-huh.
and then they'll like walk by and then they'll take somebody else's card and then they'll get in line.
Yeah.
So it's like it really had nothing to do with me.
Or maybe it did.
Maybe it did, right?
Because she took it from somebody else.
But they probably just didn't understand at the time. So when you're dealing with rejection, sometimes it really has nothing to do with you. It's just move on to the next one.
Mhm.
It's like literally they are literally, it doesn't make sense. I see it all. I don't know why they do that. They like walk past us and we're literally at the front of the line telling them it's free. And then they like go to the third person and they're like, oh, it's free. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
sometimes I don't think I'm like, maybe I'm not talking loud enough.
Yeah, it's like
maybe that's what it is.
Tangra free. I don't know what it is, but that kind of made me think of it like you can't ever any kind of rejection or a no answer is an answer. Like if somebody doesn't respond to you or they're beating around the bush, like just move on from those kind of situations because there are so many other women out there, and don't feel like, oh no, this is the one. I need to fight for it. I need to fight for it. If something's meant for you, it's not going to be that hard. I can tell you that. If it's meant for you, it's not going to be that hard. So stop fighting for a relationship that is not going to serve you at the end.
Yeah, and so speaking of that, right? Also, I would recommend you get outside and actually talk to actual people. Because like I said, if men are in a loneliness epidemic, I think it's because you're spending too much behind a screen.
Yeah.
Because
How does one do that?
You gotta you gotta suck it. Like I think
how and where.
So here's
if
the
someone
thing.
is struggling with that, how do they get out and talk to more people?
So I've never been the approach girls guy out in random situations. That's never been my. Now, have I done it once or twice? If the situation calls for it, shoot. You know what I'm saying? We gotta do what we gotta do.
Yep.
But typically where I was meeting women is in group settings, right? If like we're, I'll me and a few of my guys are out somewhere, and then there's a group of people who look like they're already having a good time, or maybe I'm friends with a few girls who have a few girlfriends, and now that ice is typically already a little bit thinner than it is when you're just cold walking up to somebody. Oh, we have a reason to talk to each other because we have a mutual connection. Oh, you know her, you know him. Oh, hey, how you doing? It's very nice to meet you. And I think that maybe like just getting into, your community, meeting people, and that's was the easiest way for me. But as far as that, I mean, you guys, you just gotta go outside, man. There's plenty of places. Go to different events, especially here in Tampa, singles events. There's music events. There's art events. You're bound to meet somebody that you find attractive in a place that you already like, which means that they probably have similar interests to you. So it makes conversations a little bit easy there.
I think it's simple. Usually it's uncomfortable at the beginning of trying to do it, but you can do it at the grocery store. Like it's literally like you just compliment someone's outfit. Keep it simple as that. And the more you do that, the more you start to build confidence within yourself. And then when you're out and about, it just makes it that much easier for you. Like people will be walking by, people will be walking by at the club or sometimes like at the grocery store. I find myself like being too introverted sometimes when I'm at the grocery store. I'm like, man, I have to be around people all the time at work. It's like I don't want to even go to a grocery store. Let me just use Instacart. But I'm like, no, I need to constantly like you got to be around people. Like community does help. And the more you talk to random people and strangers, the more you realize, okay, maybe not everybody is as messed up as social media says.
Not
they are.
everybody's insane.
And it just makes it easier for you to build connections with people down the road and compliment people at Publix or ask them questions. Just random things like that will help you build that confidence to talk to other people. And then it's just random girls that walk by in the club. Or not in the club, but outside. I just compliment them on their outfits. Nothing crazy. I'm not trying to get
Brandon almost took somebody's girl last week. Hold on, nah. We not about to act like it didn't happen.
It's not the only person's outfit. It's not the only girl's outfit. I complimented.
No. So here's the thing, right?
Just at the time,
there was this group of people walking by. It was probably like 4 girls and like 2 guys. Brandon says, "I like your outfit." Now, mind you, like there's 4 girls there. Only one of them looks over and says thank you. This happens to be the one walking next to this guy. Now, this guy was not touching her as they were walking. Soon as she said thank you, he grabs her hand to keep walking after that.
But it's like I do it because like we're out there, right? We're handing out cards, right?
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. Nobody likes rejection. So we're handing out free entry cards. Not everybody takes it. And some people's like, no, thank you. Or some people flat out ignore you. And that's just how it works. That's like in sales, it's a number game. So sometimes you just switch it up, compliment people to get a better reaction. That's all, and it makes me feel better about myself. So that way I'm not just getting rejected by everybody walking by. Like, no, thank you. Or just not saying anything at all. So it's like, though you use those little things to help you, regain your confidence or build your confidence
using
again.
a different tactic. Interesting.
I mean, it was a nice outfit. Like I'm not Not gonna lie. I also have like zero filter at work.
Yeah, it's a different place.
90% of the time. I mean, I
Um,
got zero filter at church too sometimes too.
Yeah, we gotta pray for Brandon and how
Always
he
pray
gets
for me.
Um,
Always pray for me. Make sure I gotta get back in my Bible too. And that's another thing. When you are like when you put all your confidence in God too, it's like and what I've learned this much or this year is like reading the Bible so much. I've never read the Bible before this year. I think I read like 3 or 4 full books throughout the
mhm,
Bible. Is you just start to realize is like what's meant for me is going to come like to me. Like, and once you start to put your confidence in God, it's like any rejection, like none of this stuff really even matters. Like the end goal
mhm,
is eternal life. Like we're supposed to go through trials and tribulations during this lifetime to help build our soul and spirit for who we're going to be when we're spending eternity in paradise. Like this isn't supposed to be paradise. God isn't going to create paradise for us here. So there's going to be a lot of growing pains that we have to go through. And sometimes, male loneliness epidemic, insecurities, things like that are what we have to go through. Rejection, all of that. I'm 32, don't have my wife yet. You know what I'm saying? I thought I'd be married with kids by age 25. That was 7 years ago.
I certainly didn't think he would be, but that's
You didn't think I would be? Well, I did when I was in high school because
Oh,
you're
yeah,
dating a high school
yeah.
sweetheart and stuff. After that, I turned into a little crazy. College happened, and
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
you get into that mindset of like, oh, girls are the same. Shout out Juice World, all that kind of stuff, and then then you're like, all right, I'm done with this. Then you have a bad one, you're like, done with this. Then you get into a good one that turns bad. You're like, I'm done with this.
Mhm.
And then you just, you find God and you read the Bible, like, all right, hey, your timing, not mine. Your will, not mine. Your will be done. I'll be good.
Mhm, mhm.
So,
Now, you said something a little bit earlier about
mhm,
relationships serving you. Now,
yeah.
so this is a perfect segue into something that I was talking about
Hmm.
online here. So I said something that so I was asking about basically why people get together and why people stay together. And
Hmm.
I was talking mainly about like you guys have to be able to essentially service each other. I'm like to get in a relationship and marry somebody who can't do anything tangible for you
Hmm.
or even intangible. It
Hmm.
doesn't really make a lot of sense to me.
Hmm.
And I think the main thing that I was hitting on was like the physical things. And then someone brought up a good point because obviously when you ask a man what he's looking for, I'm looking for a woman to do X, Y, and Z.
Hmm.
When you ask a woman what she's looking for, oh, I'm looking for a man that's kind and compassionate and these,
Hmm.
those things. And and somebody brought up a good point in terms of like how we see the things that we're looking for. It seems like the things that we're asked to provide, because men are asked to provide, oh, we got to be able to pay for this and take care of the house or
Hmm.
whatever it is. So I want somebody that can service me in a tangible manner. But then when women, you're like, hey, we want you to be somebody who's there and be, a safe space for me and, blah, 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 blah. Women are looking for something that's more so intangible. And I was like, that's very interesting. But I'm
Hmm.
like, I also don't think that you should be marrying as, somebody who's not going to be able to do anything physically in order to service you.
Hmm. What
And
do you mean by physically?
so like
You
in a
mean
way,
like you mean
I'm sorry.
like
I mean like tangible, tangible things. Because like one of the things that everybody always brings up is like income, basically.
Yeah.
So like
We 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 talked about that a long time ago.
yeah, so
Like
I
what you bring to the table episode.
yeah, correct. And
Hmm.
so someone made a comment on a video and said, "Oh, women's value to men is wrapped in what we can do for them." And I said, I would argue that you shouldn't be marrying anybody that can't do things for you. Like you shouldn't marry anybody that's useless to you,
Yeah.
regardless of what. Like I'm like, just because they're nice
Hmm.
and kind and compassionate,
Right.
I don't feel like that's enough for you to marry him.
It is for me. Like no.
Right. And that might be enough for you, but I wouldn't argue that women should do that because of the fact that
Oh,
the
absolutely
majority of
not.
the comments that I'm getting on my videos are how miserable women are in marriage because the men don't do anything. So I'm like,
Yeah.
if you're marrying him because he was kind and the vibes were cool, but because he couldn't do anything for you, that's why you're complaining about this now.
And I mean, we see it often and stuff. It's like, yeah, people like hop into marriages like relatively fast. It's like, how well do you really know this person? And we also talked about it on an episode before. It's like, why are we expecting them to change when they shown us this? Why are we expecting like the video game incident,
But
right? If they
the
play it, why
correct.
why are they going to stop?
But in this case, it seems as though they're expecting upon that, as long as he's kind and he's compassionate,
Not
but
enough.
it's fine. So somebody put a comment on a video. I was like,
Mhm.
okay, so if he's all these things, but he makes $40,000 a year, is that okay with you? And I said, okay, cool. So I put the comment on. I said, so ladies, you talk to me.
Mhm.
Yes, that's fine. That's not a problem.
Mhm.
It's not ever about how much he makes and all these other things. And I said, that is very, very interesting to me.
Mhm.
Because granted, I don't think it should be about how much he makes. However,
I think it should be a combination. You
it should
should
be
still.
some sort of combination, because I'm like,
Mhm.
hey, so if you're telling me that these things don't matter, I'm like, would
Mhm.
you marry a man who can't keep a job, but he's kind, he's loyal to you, and and what would you marry him if he can't keep a job?
Mhm.
Some people were like, yeah, like he would just have to be okay with me being the main income earner, and as long as he's okay with that, then we'd be fine. I'm like, I think you're insane,
Yeah, a little bit.
because I'm like, that's a character trait. If you can't keep a job, there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
And so if you don't see that just because he's nice to you, I'm like, okay, but that's fine. But I just that's just my view on it. I don't know
Mhm.
how you feel about it, but I don't feel like anybody should be getting into any relationship with somebody who can't be of some sort of service to them.
Yeah, I mean, I think when it comes to like intimacy in creating a relationship, it's just the lack of or the insecurities that we have within ourselves, and somebody feels those insecurities, right? When you have insecurities about yourself, and you may be aware of those insecurities, or you may lie to yourself and say I don't have any insecurities, but when you find somebody that feels those insecurities, whether you know that they're feeling those insecurities or whether you don't know that they're feeling those insecurities, you're going to have this emotional bond, and you're having sex when you shouldn't be having sex. You're going to feel this emotional bond with this person to where like, oh yeah, if they're loyal to me and they cook me breakfast in the morning, and they take out the trash on Tuesday, that's good enough for me.
Yeah.
But no, how do they perform under pressure? What kind of individual are they when adversity hits? How is their anger management skills? How is their relationship with their family? How is their relationship with their closest friends? Are their closest friends POSs, or are they
Do they
good people?
have friends?
Do they have friends? Like, yeah, all those things kind of come into play where income still is an important factor. Yeah, it's not the end all be all, but you should still be able to provide for yourself and have 6 months saved up, yada, yada, yada. You shouldn't be out there blowing money on Pokemon cards and things like that, like I do.
So Brandon's
In
not a good
hobbies,
candidate, is what he's telling you
I'm
right
not,
now.
yeah, stay away from me. I'm not a good candidate. Stay away.
I had a woman comment on one of my videos. She said, my husband doesn't love me for what I do for him. He loves me for who I am as a person and how I make him feel. What we do
Feel.
for each other is what makes the partnership. So many people shouldn't be married. Hold on. So many people shouldn't be married. What did she say? Okay, yeah. So many people shouldn't be married or marry the wrong person. And I said, that
Mhm.
is very interesting. Um, because I'm like, maybe he does love you for how you
Mhm.
make him feel. But if you only made him feel, I didn't get to ask her this question in depth. So how do you make him feel those ways? What do you do that makes him feel those
Mhm.
ways? And I would argue that those things would probably end up something that you do for him.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
typically,
saying?
yeah.
But
Or
also,
you feel the void of one of his insecurities that he may be aware of
mhm,
or not be aware of. But like that's how people create such strong bonds with people. And
mhm,
that's why they always say too is like you or what do they say? The girl is the same, but the name is different. Like you keep getting in these same cycles, these same relationships with these same people. The person is the same, but the name is different. It's because you are attracted to somebody in that person that makes you feel good.
mhm.
And that's like a problem that we have, and a problem I've had for years, which is why I'm in my situation that I'm in. But it's comes with growth and self-awareness to understand these things and to not repeat bad decision making.
Yeah, I just feel like regardless of how, and maybe this is me, and you know, I can
Mhm.
be transparent. Maybe this is me lacking the feeling thing, but I'm like,
Emotional depth.
yeah, regardless of how somebody makes you feel,
Mhm.
I don't feel like you should ever be in a relationship with somebody who's a bum. And
I agree with
in
that.
any sense
Mhm.
of the word, like, yeah, they compliment me and they make me feel good about whatever it
Mhm.
is, you know, that pain point is for me.
But anybody
Um,
could do that.
but
Anybody, yeah,
anybody could do
anybody.
that.
Anybody can fill the void that you have within yourself
Yeah,
if you let them. Like
yeah.
anybody can do it, which is why a lot of men are in the loneliness epidemic, right? They have these voids, and what do? They go out to the club, they go on vacations, they go to Colombia. What's the other one? They go to all these places to. they go to all. They go to all these places to fill the void that they have within themselves, but that's why they're still lonely because they're just temporarily filling the void, and that's what happens when two empty or lonely people filled with insecurities and stuff get into relationships with each other. They're just feeling the void. They're not necessarily complimenting each other in their roles on the relationship. Then they quote unquote fall in love, and then they have problems down the road, which all relationships are going to have problems, but a lot of them are avoidable if you just don't get into the relationship with that person.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, so that was, you know, that's just kind of a question that I had. I don't know.
Mhm.
I've always been under the impression that any tangible relationship, it's essentially two people serving each other in some sort of manner, whatever it is that it
I
may
agree.
be.
I think it should be.
And
Yeah.
in any sort of especially a marital relationship, I don't think any of them thrive
Mhm.
with one person doing, like, you
Doing
know,
everything.
doing
Yeah.
everything, but you just make me feel good, and
Yeah.
you know, and that's all I need for you. Some of them may thrive like that, but that's just not, I have a hard time wrapping my mind around it.
Yeah. It's like if you the guy with that's the main breadwinner, and then the stay at home wife, she's still cleaning the house, taking care of the kids, cooking, doing all that stuff, like in traditional roles. Like she's still doing that. So she is still like part of the team, a very valuable asset to your team because without her, you wouldn't have dinner, the kids taken care of, house clean, all of that
Yeah,
stuff. So it's like,
absolutely.
yeah, they still, both parties definitely got
It's
to be offering something.
right. It's all some, like, everybody's doing something. Like if one
Hmm.
person is both the breadwinner and the person, because that's what the women in my comments have been complaining about. Like, I would go to work all day, come home, and then still have to do all of these things
Yeah,
without help. And I'm like,
absolutely not.
yeah, that should not be the case. But you married him because of who he was, and because he was
Yeah,
kind and
yeah.
compassionate and made you feel good, and
You can
didn't
find those
do.
kind of people all over. That's
Yeah,
not enough.
yeah.
That is not
It's
enough.
it's not enough.
That is not enough.
So okay, so we have a comment here. It says, interesting. So this guy I know, she is so funny,
Hmm.
decided to make his girlfriend a stay-at-home girlfriend because she cooks. Is this the service that you mean? So let's
I mean, it's a conversation, right? But yeah, that is a service.
mm,
It like for me, oh Jesus, I just hit my desk. But for me, when I get married and I have kids, like I don't want my wife, I want her to have a job, like her own business or something that she can do
mm,
online, sell e-commerce, do something online. But I want my wife to take care of my kids in the house, like that's what I want.
right, right, right.
So that's her service to our relationship together. My service would be to go and pay for everything.
So I was gonna say, so Migdalia is providing a little bit more context. I didn't know if she was gonna let me do it, so I'm glad she's doing it. So she said, but she also doesn't keep a job and sleeps all day, but she does cook. So the girl can't keep a job or anything like. But
Well, I mean, if the guy's okay with that, then that's the only thing he needs out of that service, right? That's the only thing he needs out of the
do
relationship.
you feel like that's something that you would be okay with?
Eh, is she living? I mean, you got to be. I'm not attracted to that. Like, you got to be a little bit driven. You got to
uh-huh,
be a little bit driven. I
uh-huh.
understand. I have days where I can sleep all day too. I completely understand that. But you got to have a little. And I go through phases.
Mm.
No, absolutely not.
No, she does
No.
not have the right to demand that from I at least don't think so.
No.
Because I and that's obviously coming from me,
Just
because
if she's cooking and
just because she's cooking,
cooking
not
and
even
cleaning.
cleaning, just
Oh,
cooking,
not even clean. Oh, I
just
thought.
cooking, and she's mean to you.
Oh, well, then you know what it is. I already know. She probably Latina, and you know what's fire.
Oh gosh.
I've been there. I mean, so she actually had a job, so she was a little bit driven. Because I
Yeah.
can't, me personally, like I can't be attracted to like complete laziness.
That's what I'm
Like you got to
saying.
have a little
Nothing.
bit,
You don't want
like
to do nothing.
something.
You don't even got no passions.
Yeah,
Eh,
like figure something out. Like you don't like doing like crochet or like making Legos and selling them online. I don't know. Figure something out.
Like there's nothing that interests you enough for you to want to get up before 2 p.m.
Yeah. So I mean, and that's the problem with guys, right? We sometimes we just go for looks and what makes us feel good. And if the sex is good, then we just ignore all that other stuff. And hey, you just cook for. Yeah, I could have guessed that. I had one of those too. I could 100% guess that because she can cook really good too. Could 100% guess that. Hey, but it was great. So you just kind of forget all those other.
Forget.
You just you know, like something bad happens and they yell at you, and you just kind of throw it under the rug because everything else is good. They look good, the food's good, everything else after that is good, and you just kind of overlook those things. But that's where we mess up as men too, and how we're raised in society is like, oh, if you're with the hot girl and you know you blast it on social media, like you're the man, you know, you have the most beautiful girl in the city or whatever it may be, like you're the man, you're on top of the world. And that's like how we think, or how I thought growing up. And then it's like realize like, yeah, no, you don't really want that, you don't really need that. And then you get into a relationship, and then guys, at least I speak on behalf of myself, being very non-confrontational, you kind of just stay in the relationship until it really crashes and burns. And when it really crashes and burns, is you know a little bit too late at that point. So yeah, no, she can't demand anything, but she can
Yeah.
keep cooking for him.
That's yeah, and I think this is like a perfect example of
Hmm.
how um men end up the running theories that men hate their wives after a long period of time. And I'm like, well, you married her at the beginning knowing that she sleeps all day and is mean to you
You can't expect people to
and then
change,
you
man.
expected her to you stayed with her and
Mhm.
now you're 20 years in and you're telling everybody how much you hate your marriage.
And
And I'm
looks are
like,
going to
you did
fade.
this.
Yeah. Yeah, we can't we can't choose our lifelong partner based solely on looks. Yes, looks are going to get you to talk to them, but like 30 years down the road, can you wake up next to this person still? Can you wake up next to this person? Chill. Oh, I said chill instead of still because I was literally in the process of reading as well.
Men need to choose better just as women, just as women. Just like a nice guy isn't enough, a good meal and pretty face isn't either.
Yeah, I agree.
I
I
agree.
think at least for me, and what I've learned is, and I jumped into relationships, or I pursued them. Let me say I pursued them solely based on looks, and like, oh, looks and she's nice, right? And then when something bad happened, it's like, no, she's really hot and she's really nice to me. So like that bad thing, it didn't happen. You know, like, oh, that red flag, it's not really there. And then you just keep pursuing it because you're like, no, she's actually a really nice person and she looks great. Everything else, XYZ is phenomenal. And then you're like, yeah, no, yeah, that one, two bad things that happened. No, that's not. Oh, yeah, she yelled at me. No. Oh, she did that. No, that's not bad. Oh, she can't hold a job. No, that's not bad. Because you just keep holding on to the three things that you think is good about that person.
Yeah, that's crazy. I can't do it. You got to nip that in the bud, man.
It's
It
hard,
it
but you have
is.
to realize,
But it comes with experience and then also comes with
yes.
something that like you got to be willing to have those conversations, especially at the beginning, and kind of
Mhm,
laying some ground rules and some boundaries. It's funny,
mhm,
Migdalia actually reminded me of a something that happened between her and I that I completely forgot happened.
mhm,
So there was a point, so I don't know what happened between us, but she had an attitude with me.
mhm,
But she was also staying at my apartment.
mhm.
And so she was walking around my apartment silent and angry
Yeah.
and in my space trying, and she's usually there for about 3 days at a time.
Mhm,
So it was complete silence, a bunch of me mugs, attitude, all this
mhm,
other stuff. And um I told her apparently, because I forgot this happened, apparently I went there and I said, look, um, if you're going to be here, we need to wrap this attitude stuff up by the end of the day, because you're not going to be here disturbing my peace, have me
Yeah.
trying to walk around on eggshells in my apartment. You live somewhere
I
else.
live it.
You
Yeah.
literally don't have to be here. So you can go back home if this is how it's going to be. And if you want to stay here, then we need to figure it out.
Mhm.
And apparently since then, we've never had the issue again.
Simple as that. But it comes from not being afraid of the confrontation. You know,
Yeah.
you can't be afraid to have those hard conversations with people you're in like your significant other. You can't be afraid to have those hard conversations. And
Tell her stop being a bum. Tell him to stop being a bum. Tell everybody stop being a bum.
Whoever it may be. I mean, you know, there's good people out there, there's bad people out there. We just get so clouded within our judgment that we just react and think too emotionally.
I think the other thing is that some people are just waiting for more. They're like, okay, so maybe they're gonna do this now.
You can't date potential.
Maybe they're gonna.
You can't date potential.
Maybe they're gonna. Maybe they're. Oh no. They just got to get used to this a little bit. Maybe they're just not fully comfortable yet. Like no, that's literally who they. That's who they are.
That's it. Yeah, and you got to see the signs, and they're going to show you who they are. You just have to listen. They're going to show you. They're just going to show you. One of my biggest problems was like that, just what you're saying there is like dating the potential, the what could be, or like you start talking about getting married with the person, having kids, where you want the wedding to be, whatever.
This stuff you was talking about. You was spending some crazy game out there, man. It's crazy.
I'm talking about with like my exes.
Oh yeah. You were talking about marriage with them?
Yeah, when I stopped drinking because I was talking about marriage with her. Yeah, it would have been crazy marriage. Thank God.
Brandon.
Thank God.
I feel like I'm gonna say this.
I probably would have.
If anybody who knows me, if you're in a relationship, come talk to me about your significant other before you start talking to them. If Brandon came to me and said, I'm thinking about marrying this girl, I would hey brother.
But that's the problem. You know, not like I'm a very emotional person. We always talk about this, like, you know, the loneliness epidemic, all the things that you read off based off the Google search. Like I can relate to that. I know you can't. So sometimes I wish, you know, I didn't have as many emotions and I could just more or logically regulate all these things as well as Cleon. But unfortunately, I don't. So yes, me understanding that now, I know like there are certain steps I have to take into a relationship and take things a lot slower. No sex, no none of that. And then you got to console your friends that think way more logically than you. And you're the one that's going to be clouded by the emotional judgment, right? So
correct.
Use your close friends, people that you trust, not just random people that are like, oh yeah, do that. And not your gossip friends either.
Don't talk to people online about your relationship either.
Don't go to Reddit.
Don't go to Reddit. Don't go to TikTok.
Those people are not professionals.
And they also don't want you to be happy. People are so committed to being miserable online. They are so committed to it, no matter what.
I posted my flag football little video, reel, whatever, because like on my main page, I'm 32 years old, I still play flag football. That's fine. It was so funny. And then I posted on Instagram too, right? And it just two comments got like super hateful, and I like one girl was like doing all this doing all this shit. Pardon my language, sorry. And he's only 4'11". I'm like,
why are you doing?
I'm like, did a midget hurt you? Like, what's wrong? Like, are you okay? And then I posted it on Instagram, right? And it got a lot of views. And this random, like, ugly bodybuilder dude commented on it, like, this is gay as hell. And I'm just like, brother, have you seen your profile? It's just like him doing all the bodybuilding poses. And I'm like, dude, like, your insecurities are just yelling at me right now just because I look good and you're super ugly with big muscles. Like,
should have told him he's just mad he has bad hip rotation.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Your knees don't work like my knees, buddy. I see you out on the field. You're going to be the one who's like not being able to get up once you fall down. So, people just like to be negative, and it's just like all it is literally just a video, a flag football video.
It's just a flag.
It had nothing to do with anything. No negativity. No rooting for a certain team or anything. It's just me running around. Playing flag football. That's all it was.
Yeah, talk to people who care about you genuinely, about your relationship. And you know, they'll help you out. They'll at least try and lead you in the right direction.
Yeah, and what is the biblical term from where there's multitude of counsel?
Yeah.
Listen. So if multiple people that don't know each other are saying the same thing, you should probably listen because usually God does use other people in your life to speak to you through them.
Mhm.
Drop the mic.
So to wrap things up here, man. Yeah, I guess I asked two questions here, and that's kind of what we talked about. But so number one, the male loneliness epidemic, and then obviously making sure that you're in relationships that serve you. So Brandon, your final thoughts on loneliness and servitude.
Yeah, well, to talk, I guess on the male loneliness epidemic, because that's something I understand and I could relate to.
Mhm.
Stop using people to make you feel good. I think we get into this problem of using the opposite sex to make us feel good about our own insecurities, our own problems, our own lack of money, whatever it may be, that we're going through, our own personal adversities that we face. We use somebody else's body to make us feel better about that, and then we continue those bad habits, and then we end up getting into relationships that last too long. So instead of doing that, get closer to God, get into your Bible, because once you start to put your confidence into Him, and I have this problem too. Like I go through phases on stuff where I go like super hard into things, and then I'll read my Bible every single day, and then next thing you know, I haven't opened it up in a month, and I realize whenever I'm not reading in it, or I'm not focusing or making an effort to put time in my schedule to spend time in the Bible or spend time in God's presence, that's when things start to get worse for me, or I feel more lonely, or I feel more insecure, or things of that nature start to trickle into my mind,
Mhm.
is when I'm pulling myself away from that. So sometimes you just got to reset and get closer to God and read the Bible, and that'll help you. If you are someone that's struggling with that, like I have, I realize when I'm more in my Bible, it makes things a lot easier for me because I know like God's got it. I ain't got to worry about anything. So that would be my recommendation for that.
Mhm.
Final thoughts for you, Mr. Deal.
I don't know if the male loneliness epidemic actually exists. Um,
I
I just
mean,
know.
everything's made up.
I mean, everything's just made. I know the shorties are still outside. I know the homies are still
Yeah,
outside.
yeah. But you don't know
You
necessarily
know,
what they're always going through.
yeah, but
They're just
lonely.
out there to make themselves feel good and fulfill themselves momentarily.
Correct. And but I think that and maybe I didn't ask enough question, but
Mhm,
when they say lonely, I think what they're trying to say is that this is why women don't like men right now. And that's
mhm.
more so what they're talking, not men's internal feelings of
Yeah,
loneliness,
yeah, yeah.
but that they're unable to go out and meet women
Mhm,
and form any sort of actual bond from something like that. That I think that's more so what they're talking about. Because
mm,
this stuff, when I look at the definition, I'm like, that makes sense. I
right.
can see that, but that's not really how they're coming across.
Mhm,
They're so more so talking about like, oh, women are just shying away from actually being with men and that and because of men
mhm.
sort of thing. That's kind of more so what they're like. They not out here pulling
Well,
basically.
they're really not about to be out here pulling when them AI women come out here, just letting you guys
All right.
know.
And so with that, thank you for joining us today, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, pray for Brandon's attachment to AI. Because
They won't break your heart.
yeah, they might.
They
Right.
might.
There's
They might kill you.
there's
Who knows?
30 movies about why this is a bad idea, about these virtual robot assistants that they be putting in your houses.
There's over 30 movies about God, and people still don't believe him. So that might not be a true
But
movie.
you do, right?
I do.
I'm not sure why that's the example we
That
decided to
probably
go
wasn't a
with.
good example.
What are we doing here?
Hey, I'm the kind of person that wants to see for himself.
Well, when that thing is way too strong for you and stops listening to
I'm gonna watch
you,
iRobot again
yeah, you need to. There's another movie
to know
about.
how to defeat them if that happens.
So thank you for joining us today, ladies and gentlemen. Thankful to be back after 2 weeks.
Bang, bang, bang.
I'm gonna be going home for Christmas, so I probably won't be here for that
Yes,
week.
Merry
But
Christmas, Happy New Year. We will
we'll
see you
yeah,
guys
we'll do another
next
one.
week. We'll do a year recap on all the things that I said I was going to do and didn't do,
That's fair.
and
We
maybe
can
some
do
of the
that.
stuff that I did do and didn't say I was going to do.
There you go. That
So
balance.
balance, baby. That's just how my brain operates. So thank you guys.